HCMC or Healthier Choices Management Corp closed the session of the 19th of April 2021 at $0.0019, an extension or gain of 18.75%. About 988.1 million shares crossed that tape, and at some point during that session the stock close was above the 50-day moving average. It says price rose through the 50-day moving average above average of 0.0. I don't exactly know what the figure is, but the volume also was below average. So this is the second session that it is having an extension. The previous session, that's the session before this one, before this last one, that was the 16th, it had an extension as well, and it has a market cap of $588 million and a hefty 309.497 billion shares outstanding. And moving down, we can see there isn't any fresh news as such. It's just you may have been watching various YouTube videos concerning the lawsuits and all that stuff. So one I watched was saying that Philip Morris, amongst other things, is saying that Hcmc didn't disclose in its initial filings that combustion. I mean, they did not explain what they meant by combustion in their initial filing, and they have now come afterwards to assert what it is. Try to define what it is amongst other things. This is not exactly I'm just, what I'm saying right now is just hearsay. But in any case, I don't have first-hand information concerning the lawsuit and all that stuff. So we're just gonna strictly deal with the technicals here. So we can see the MACD slightly above zero and rising. Momentum is also very much bullish. MACD above signal line and trying to cross the zero mark. It says HCMC appears to be in a strong bullish trend. Its 200-day moving average is upward sloping, and the MACD histogram is above zero and rising. We saw that, but it's still lagging the S&P 500. And the momentum for HCMC strongly bullish. We saw that. Yes, it's strongly bullish. Evidently, you can see that. And then the 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising as investors pay high prices for shares. And the volume for that session was heavier than usual, trading 10.651 million shares versus an average of 2.791 billion shares per day during the last 12 months. The unbalanced volume indicator is bullish. The slope of the indicator is positive and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. So the signals are very much bullish, very, very, very much bullish on HCMC right now. So we have been able to see, we can see here that the 200-day trend line, which is the long-term trend line, is still very much bullish. The short-term trend lines are also getting bullish as well. They are bullish, it's just that the overall length of the curves are not exactly looking up, but it's been retracing, so they are not they're not, the whole of the curves are not exactly doing that, but it is indeed, they are indeed looking up. So the 50-day trend line is still very much bullish as well, because this retracement hasn't gone on forever. So this, evidently, the stock itself is extending, but hasn't crossed that 50-day trend line, even with 2 days of extension. So at some point it did cross it, but it pulled back and closed at 0.0019. So we have been able to determine that HCMC is actually trading above the 1 standard deviation range for the 50-day trend line. This is also a bullish signal, a positive signal. See, that's the ranges. This is the range, so this is where HCMC is. So it's trading above that range now. So more positive signals, but at the same time as well, the more positive it is, the more risky it's getting. So you might want to say, how risky can this get? It's only not even trading up to 1 cent, and so I'm not sure if it's HCMC that one market participant or one viewer was saying that if it gets to 0.01 he will get involved. So but in any case though, the stock is gradually extending and rising. The risk is also increasing, the risk on the upside, gradually approaching tail risk territory. So currently it's run up, I believe, up to 30% gain since the 15th of April 2021. So it still looks very much cheap. If you want to get involved, I would say, just really be careful. In as much as it is trading in dimes at 0.001, roughly $0.02, it still doesn't mean that it's not risky. So just know what you're doing and be careful. Yeah. So if we can actually try and have a look at what happened during that session, we might just see whether that chart has been able to change. Okay, still very much the same sort of thing we've been seeing, and so that's very much the same. This cyclical moves, cyclical patterns, trading within one range, traded much of the time during between 0.018 and 0.019, but all in all, for the whole session, it's extended from, I believe, 0.0, okay, no, it's extended from 0.017, and at some point it actually reached 0.0. This is probably where it crossed that 50-day trend line. At this point it was probably up to 0.02 or so, or thereabouts. So in any case though, the signals are getting very much positive and bullish, but at the same time the risk is also increasing as well. So you just be careful, see what you're doing, and if you want to get involved, by all means get involved. But it has run up to 36% in the last two sessions. So, and it's also currently trading at a premium to its short-term trend lines, and also gradually approaching its 50-day trend line. At some point it did surpass it, even though it pulled back. So just so you just be aware of that. It's getting bullish, getting positive, but getting risky as well. So if you're new to this channel, subscribe, like, and share. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for watching this video.